Why, hello, friends. Okay, we've started. See, I never know when it starts. I'm using my new software. I'm afraid of change, and this is a big change, the new software, but hopefully it'll keep my mouth in sync. We'll just see. So, folks, Scott here, review guys. Not dead, still not dead. You haven't seen a whole lot of us, in part because I'm still working my hellacious work week. I'm trying to save some money to go on a trip, you see, so if I can work my overtime week this week, then I'll be able to work regular hours. I'm far behind on... Do you hear that? That's the telephone that I took off the hook. Okay, it stopped. See, I tried to talk super fast and just cram everything together so you don't hear anything, but just know that that happened. See, I'm rambling again, but hopefully you missed the rambling, or if you didn't miss the rambling, you missed the wrestling, and now we're going to talk about the wrestling. Anyway, so yeah, ECW, that's that. Now, I am behind on my wrestling. I did not watch Raw. I have it on tape. I haven't been able to watch it yet, because I'm reading this book. It's a filthy, filthy book, but I love it. Has anybody ever heard of Chad Kultgen, something like that? I think he's a good writer, but he writes just filthy, filthy books. But I can't stop reading. Anyway, so that's why I didn't watch Raw, because instead of watching my tape, I thought, let me read a little more of this smut. Anyway. So anyhow, behind on Raw. My feelings, though, very quickly on SmackDown. There we go. Are I think Jeff looks good. I think Jeff has looked better than he has looked since his title run against Triple H back in the early 2008 period, right before he got suspended, obviously. But what he's going through now, he looks great, he looks strong, he looks like a contender. Will he win? I don't think so. Only because I think WWE not only needs to appease him, but they need to think about the credibility of Edge, the long-term credibility. And I think if Edge loses again, if he's a 9-time champion, having never held the belt for more than a couple months, I think they're doing themselves a disservice, shooting themselves in the foot. That's why I'm saying Edge as it stands now. I'll let you know at the end of the week if things change. Now moving on to ECW. Minimal rambling. Speaking of rambling, I'm going to make a video in just a minute. I'm going to post it right after I post this one. That's me talking about something that I think is both funny and ridiculously sad. But you'll see that. But it's all rambling, no wrestling. So look forward to that if you like the rambling. Now then, show begins with Mark Henry and Tommy Dreamer. My problem with this is Tommy Dreamer ever going to win the belt? Part of me thinks this was all just a ploy. The guys in the back room were like, okay, Tommy, we got a great story for you. You're going to tell everybody you're going to retire if you don't want to, this story. You got a long story, long-term storyline. And then they're thinking to themselves, we're just going to make him lose. He doesn't know this. We're just going to force him to retire. So Tommy gets excited, right? Goes out, does this story, and then gets forced to quit. Now then, there's another noise that you can ignore. Anytime there's a noise, I'm going to point it out to you so that I don't have to feel like I have to hide it from you people. Anyway, so is Tommy going to win? And logistically speaking, how is Tommy going to beat Christian? You know, unless Christian and Swagger go back and forth with the title. I just don't understand how Tommy's going to get a chance to win. It's question number 1. Next, moving on, we see backstage Gregory Helms, Hurricane Helms, as the new broadcast partner of ECW. Now, this is my question for those of you who know such things. Is Helms never going to be in the ring again? Was he injured? Is he A, healing, or B, was he injured to such a degree that he was put out of action? If so, how and when? And yeah, I mean, I like him. I hope he, I hope he finds his niche, or niche, as some people say, as a broadcast partner. But I don't really understand why he's not going to wrestle anymore. Next, we see Finlay versus Tyson Kidd. Now, here's the thing. There have been numerous matches, and this only increases my respect for Finlay. there have been numerous matches against newcomers who I'm supposed to like but don't like, who I'm on the fence about. And then I see them fight Finlay and I go, that was a good match. It happened with Swagger, and it happened last night with Tyson Kidd. I thought it was a very good match. I thought Kidd looked better. Here's my main problem with Kidd, aside from the hair. My main problem with Tyson Kidd is that he goes, when he screams for the referee to ask him, he screams in such a high-pitched voice. There's nothing threatening about, ask him! I'm gonna break his arm! Nothing threatening. You think the backstage folks would have told, unless they're laughing. We're gonna make Tommy Dreamer quit, and we're gonna make Tyson Kidd sound like a girl. There's some devious person back there who just takes pleasure in the pain of... Anyway, but I thought Kidd looked good, but the match didn't end because out comes who? Not DH, but David Hart. David Hart Smith. Now, like I said, I've been working long hours. I'm very tired. So for most of this time, I'm trying to put the connections together in my head. How is D.H. Smith related to the Harts? How? I read Bret Hart's book, but it's been about a year, and a lot has happened in the years, so I've forgotten much of it. And I was very tired, and I finally realized Davey Boy was married to Bret's sister, right? Right? And then Bret's sister's best friend was the Dynamite Kid's wife, right? Okay. So, D.H. Smith is now going by David Hart Smith, and they said it about 1,000 times. Here's the deal, guys. You say it once. I go, David Hart? Didn't he mean D.A.? He just said David Hart? I'm a little confused. You say it twice, it reaffirms it in my mind. Okay, David Hart. You say it 3 times, it cements it. David Hart Smith. End of story. That's all I need to remember it forever. But you know what they did? They didn't stop there. They just kept saying it. They said it about 1,000 times. David Hart Smith. Look at David Hart Smith. Wow, David Hart Smith. David Hart Smith. There's David Hart Smith. It was too much, guys. And I love you, Matt Stryker. I do. And I especially loved your little communist comment during the thing. But enough. Enough is enough. Is enough. All right, moving on. We saw Burchill backstage. We saw Zack Ryder backstage. I don't know where they're going with Zack Ryder. I hope they're not going to let him make a joke of himself and then dump him. That would be very sad. I do, however, like, you know it, woo woo woo. Although I prefer it to be you know it, woo woo woo, as opposed to woo woo woo, you know it. He's been doing it the other way around, and I don't like that as much. I might write him a letter. Now, we saw a Kozlov promo reminding us that we're supposed to care about him. We saw Kozlov versus Chad Collier, who, by the way, had a pair of beautiful boots. If anybody can tell me where I can get a pair of wrestling boots like Chad Collier was wearing, I swear I will wear them non-stop. I will wear them to bed. They are the most gorgeous boots. I think they look like Jamie Noble's boots. I don't know if they're the same, but they're very darn similar. Yeah, so Kozlov has Sambo. We'll talk about Sambo some other time, because that would be about a minute and a half of rambling. But remind me to talk about Sambo. Then we have the Peep Show. And I don't know if we've talked about this yet, but Swagger is really coming off looking like a spoiled brat. I don't know if that's the point. Again, they're shooting themselves in the foot. If they really want this guy to be big stuff in the future of the WWE, and if they really want him to be main event material and whatever, they wouldn't make him that big a joke right now. Unless they're doing a little dichotomy where he looks like a brat, but he's a force to be reckoned with. I don't know. But they did that. Now, tell me this, for those of you paying attention. This ear right here of old Jack Swagger. Ooh, that's not nice. I shouldn't have done that. Was that a cauliflower ear? I've never known what a cauliflower ear is, but when I looked at Jack's ear, it was all lumpy and nasty looking, and I thought either he's got a really bad hearing aid or he's got a cauliflower ear. So, for those of you who paid attention or who can get access to that show, his left ear, no, his right ear, I don't know my left from my right. It was his right ear. Looked cauliflowerish to me, and tell me what's up with that. Will it always look like that, or is it going to heal and go back to normal? I'm concerned. Okay, time is oop. What is this last thing I wrote? Oh, Christian punched Swagger. Unnecessary that I held up myself for that. Anyway, folks, that's all the time we've got for the ECW review. If you would like to watch my next video, which is a horrible, horrible story, that is me just, and we'll see how long it goes. I don't know how long it'll last, but it's me just blabbing about crap. Anyway, folks, we thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you very soon, and take care of yourselves, and adios.